Welcome back to our Northern Colorado IMRG Glacier road trip. Yesterday, we were absolutely blown away by the majesty of Glacier National Park. We conquered breathtaking mountain passes and soaked in the stunning scenery. Today, we begin our journey back to Fort Collins, but the adventure isn't over yet. We've got plenty of riding and beautiful countryside to explore before we reach home. We rewarded ourselves with a bit of extra sleep this morning, and enjoyed a leisurely breakfast at the hotel before gearing up for another day of adventure. Today's planned ride is fairly short with 207 miles to Salmon, Idaho. We will make a couple of gas stops, and have lunch in Stevensville, Montana. Our hope is to make a stop at the Chief Joseph Ranch, otherwise known as the Dutton Ranch on the TV series Yellowstone, to take pictures. We'll spend the night in Salmon, Idaho before going on to Alpine, Wyoming. Leaving Polson, we headed south on US 93 toward Missoula. To the east of us we could see the towering Mission Mountains, which are part of the Rocky Mountains. Dark clouds hovered over the mountain peaks as we rode past, however we did not encounter any rain. We encountered rolling hills and farmland as we continued toward Missoula. The landscape was dotted with ranches, hayfields, and the occasional herd of cattle. The road here was generally straight and smooth, making for an easy and relaxing ride. We had no idea what awaited us in Missoula. A violent storm packing hurricane-force winds had ripped through the city the night before. The damage was extensive. Snapped power poles, thousands of trees destroyed, and an estimated $4.5 million in damage to private property. Navigating the city was a nightmare. Downed trees cluttered the streets, and the lack of power meant no traffic lights, making our progress slow and difficult. After our very slow and arduous trek through town, which took a great deal of time, we were finally in the clear and free to twist the throttle wide open again. Lolo is historically significant as a campsite used by the Lewis and Clark expedition in 1805 and 1806.
You got caught under the wheels of the gravy train. Alarm goes off at 5:15 out of your brain. Your personal eclipse is stone.
We arrived at Stevensville and headed to the Frontier Cafe for lunch. The food was good, and everyone inside was in really good spirits. The town of Stevensville holds a special place in the history of the state as it's officially recognized as the first permanent settlement of non-indigenous people in Montana.
You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way.
Hamilton is another small town located in what is known as the Bitterroot Valley. Bitterroot Valley's mild climate also earns it the nickname Banana Belt of Montana.
You can't shrug your way to the hollow. I know the road is dark and it's cold and it's long.
The Chief Joseph Ranch is a real-life working ranch located in Darby, Montana. It is famous for being the filming location of Dutton Ranch for the popular television show Yellowstone. We had hoped to stop and take pictures. However, on this day it would seem they were filming and the entrance was blocked by security crew.
Don't sneak in through the window, bow down the door. 'Cause you can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way to the hollow. You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way to the hollow. You can't shrug your way.
Can't shrug your way.
You can't shrug your
After the disappointment of not being able to stop and see the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, we pulled off at the Lost Trail Pass about another 30 miles south to take a break and rest for a while. This area was very beautiful and is the start of the Salmon River Scenic Byway.
You can't shrug your way. You can't shrug your way to the hollow.
The Salmon River Scenic Byway begins at the Montana and Idaho state line and follows the Salmon River south. We enjoyed lots of fun curves along the byway as we headed to Salmon, Idaho. Lewis and Clark attempted to travel on the Salmon River in hopes it would take them to the Pacific Ocean. However, they quickly discovered the river was too treacherous to travel by boat and abandoned their exploration along its route and sought a different route to the Pacific. Around 4:30 in the afternoon we arrived in Salmon, Idaho and headed to the Sacagawea Inn to spend the night. After resting for a while, we ventured back into town for dinner at the Bertram's Brewery. We had to wait an extraordinary amount of time for our food and the waitress completely ignored us. Nevertheless, we weren't really in any hurry and enjoyed each other's company. And we had a very fun conversation with an elderly couple who made us laugh and left us in stitches. All in all, it was another fun-filled day of riding and camaraderie. After dinner we came back to our motel and a few of us sat outdoors shooting the breeze. As the evening fell, we retired to our lodgings, eager for the next day's ride to Alpine, Wyoming.